Your tax dollars, that's right, yours, may have funded research that started the coronavirus pandemic. That's right. It's called gain-of-function research, and it was conducted in the Wuhan Institute of Virology in late 2019. Scientists are calling for a new investigation, and lawmakers on Capitol Hill are demanding answers.
The Wuhan Institute of Virology reportedly conducted gain-of-function research on coronaviruses in late 2019. That's about the same time when dozens in the Wuhan area began to fall ill. Streets near the institute were then quickly closed. Nevertheless, a World Health Organization team concluded a laboratory origin of the pandemic was extremely unlikely and animal-to-human infection very likely. Now, months later, 18 scientists want a new investigation. In a letter published in the journal Science, they write, theories of accidental release from a lab and zoonotic spillover both remain viable. On Capitol Hill, lawmakers also demanding answers about whether American taxpayers funded this gain-of-function research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
Dr. Fauci, do you still support funding of the NIH funding of the lab in Wuhan?
Senator Paul, with all due respect, you are entirely and completely incorrect that the NIH has not ever and does not now fund gain-of-function research in the Wuhan Institute.
Government scientists like yourself who favor gain-of-function research.
I don't favor gain-of-function research in China. You are saying things that are not correct.
Ranking Intelligence Committee member Devin Nunes disputes Dr. Fauci's assertion. Nunes says as gain-of-function research stopped in the U.S., the National Institutes of Health gave millions to the nonprofit EcoHealth Alliance, a portion of which then went to the Wuhan lab.
When it was banned here in the U.S. or put on pause, the Wuhan research was continuing and likely with U.S. dollars that we still don't have an accounting for.
NIH Director Dr. Francis Collins said the agency never approved funding that supported gain-of-function research, but did admit we can't absolutely prevent somebody who has an intention of deceiving us about how they've used the funds. EcoHealth Alliance President Peter Daszak describes their research.
And we've now found, after 6 or 7 years of doing this, over 100 new SARS-related coronaviruses, very close to SARS. Some of them get into human cells in the lab. Some of them can cause SARS disease in humanized mouse models and are untreatable with therapeutic monoclonals, and you can't vaccinate against them with the vaccine. So these are a clear and present danger.
Daszak was part of the WHO team that determined the pandemic likely began from animal to human transmission, not a lab leak. Some say his ties to the Wuhan lab present a conflict of interest. So while there's no evidence to prove the pandemic began in a Chinese lab, pressure mounts for a more rigorous investigation than before, to include whether the U.S. may have played a role.